Swadikap, good morning and thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand, FM 88 and NBT World. Today is Sunday, August 30th and you're with me, Surapan Lautharanarit. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, His Majesty the King has approved the appointment of new military chiefs. As of August 28, 2015, a royal command by His Majesty the King was published in the Royal Gazette, granting approval to the appointment of 831 military officials to new positions. According to the Royal Command, General Sommai Kautira was named the Supreme Commander of the Royal Thai Armed Forces, while General Thirachai Nakwanit was made the new Army Commander-in-Chief. Lieutenant General Thepong Thipayatjan was appointed as the commander of the 1st Army Region, Major General Somsak Ninbanjertgun as the commander of the 3rd Army Region, and Major General Viwat Pathompak as the commander of the 4th Army Region. At the same time, the title of the Royal Thai Navy Commander-in-Chief was given to Admiral Na Arinit. Meanwhile, General Pricha Chan-o-cha, younger brother of Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha, became the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Defense. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has expressed appreciation to the Thai people for demonstrating their unity after the recent bomb blast, while asking all to help restore confidence among foreign travelers. In his televised address to the public this week, Prime Minister Prayut said he was deeply saddened by the August 17th explosion and insisted that constant surveillance of the situation will be necessary. Nonetheless, he expressed thanks to all Thais who have come together to show national unity to the world, adding that it is everyone's responsibility to pull the nation through this difficult time. The Premier also encouraged the people to act as good hosts to foreign visitors and help project the positive image of Thailand to the international community in a bid to restore confidence. In the effort to ensure added security in the future, General Prayut suggested business establishments and retail stores to contribute by installing extra CCTVs around their premises. The Premier also voiced more support for security units in their investigation of the bombing incident, saying progress is gradually being made. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has called on the public to be confident in the country's economic potential, saying the government is urgently implementing its 5 main economic tasks. During his weekly TV program, the Prime Minister said many countries, including Thailand, were affected by outside factors, especially an economic slowdown in major countries. Domestic problems such as a drop in produce prices might affect people's confidence and slow down growth, said the Premier. General Prayut therefore urged everyone to believe in the foundations and potential of Thailand. He reiterated that the government would urgently solve the country's problems while strengthening the foundations for future growth. The government's 5 main economic tasks include assistance for farmers and low-income people, strengthening of local and regional economies, development of product quality, promotion of mega projects, and promotion of international trade and economic relations. One suspect in the Ratchaprasong bombing incident has been arrested by the Royal Thai Police, says National Police spokesman Police Lieutenant General Prawut Thawansiri. In a national televised address, Police Lieutenant General Prawut made known that police officers raided an apartment on Chuam Sampan Road in Nong Jok district, where they apprehended a 28-year-old man believed to have been involved in the 2 incidents that took place at the Hindu shrine at Ratchaprasong intersection and at Sathorn Pier. According to the spokesperson, the suspect, said to be a foreigner, had explosive devices in his hideout, while assuring that thorough investigations will be carried out before any conclusions are made. In the meantime, Colonel Winthai Suwari, spokesperson of the National Council for Peace and Order, says security officials deployed along the border have been instructed to be on high alert, while security measures in risk-prone areas remain tightened. Minister to the Prime Minister's office, Mom Luang Panadda Desakun, yesterday met with officials from the office to follow up on their various works. Attending the meeting were Director General and Deputy Director General of the Public Relations Department, or PRD, Aphinan Jantarangsi and Jamlong Singtongam, Executive Director of Radio Thailand, Ratchawan Sup-Yam, and other head officials of the Prime Minister's office. Topping the meeting's agenda was the follow-up on works emanating from the Prime Minister's office, the PRD, the Office of the Consumer Protection Board, and MCOT Public Company Limited. Mom Luang Panadda reiterated that the role of members of the media is to provide information for the public while upholding the image of the kingdom. He urged civil servants to exercise and promote unity and to remain humble. He also received a comprehensive report on the recent achievements of the Damrong Tham centers. Meanwhile, Director General Aphinan briefed Mom Luang Panadda on the PRD's recent efforts in publicizing various articles on the royal works of the monarch, the progress of national reform, confidence-building programs, and the campaign promoting peace in the 3 southern border provinces. The National Legislative Assembly has approved 3 amendments to the Marrakesh Agreement of the World Trade Organization in order to create transparency, reduce principal amount, and enhance Thailand's competitiveness in the world market. The amendments were on the agreement on Thailand's accommodation for international trade, the time frame of Thailand's implementation, and Thailand's accommodation for trade in the agreement on trade facilitation under the World Trade Organization. Minister of Commerce Apiradi Tantraporn said the amendments would increase transparency, reduce customs procedures, and demonstrate attractiveness for foreign investment. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development has projected that the amendments would help push Thailand into a middle to high-income society and decrease the country's trade principal amount by 12.9%. The Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC, has said it is unconcerned with the recent rumors of certain groups pressuring to have the new constitution voted down. CDC spokesperson General Lertrat Ratanawanit said the CDC was confident that members of the National Reform Council would be able to make their decisions independently and without outside interference. According to him, the CDC will from now on be working on educating the public on the new charter via the Parliament's television channel and national radio stations. He said the CDC would, on September 7th, submit the documents to the Election Commission. Regarding the new constitution's lack of preamble, General Lertrat urged skeptics to disregard claims that the new constitution is incomplete, saying each constitution undergoes a different drafting process and is different in its finish. He added that the CDC had on August 22nd notified the NRC that the Secretariat of the Cabinet and the CDC would jointly add a preamble to the new charter after it was passed, before submitting it for royal endorsement. The CDC would next week submit to the NRC a summary of the main agendas of the new constitution. Agendas unique to this charter include reform and reconciliation, which will become the responsibility of the next elected government to carry out. The Ministry of Commerce is inviting all to visit Padung Krung Kasem floating market near Government House, where geographical indication or GI products from all regions will be featured from September 1st to 27th. Deputy Secretary General to the Prime Minister's Office for Administrative Affairs, Prani Sri Prasert, and Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce, Chutima Bunyaprapasorn, made a joint announcement. Ms. Chutima said the market is part of Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha's policy to help small and medium enterprises develop their products and to give them an additional channel to distribute goods and generate income.
For this month, the Ministry of Commerce will bring the products which we have nursing from geographic indications. In short, we call GI. These products, you will find it only in the country that has the special unique characteristic. So there are several products in agricultural products that you will find. For example, you will find typical rice from certain area like khao sang yot, or coffee, you'll find something like doi tung coffee, doi chang coffee, and so many other things.
Throughout the month, the market will feature signature merchandise or geographical indication or GI goods from different regions, such as Doi Mesalong tea, garments from Ban Naka fabric, and pottery from Nakhon Si Thammarat. The fair will feature items from the north and northeast from September 1st to 13th, while products from the central, eastern, and southern regions will be put on show from September 14th to 27th. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha will officially open the event on September 7th. The Vietnam War, which occurred almost half a century ago, left thousands of landmines planted along the borders of Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia. Despite the passage of time, the landmines remain, and over the years, hundreds of innocent villagers have stepped on them, being badly injured or even killed as a result. Many villagers have lost their legs but have been provided with prosthetic limbs. Kun Tharin Angsakun reports from Ubon Ratchathani province.
Hundreds of villagers in Nam Yen district of Ubon Ratchathani are victims of landmines planted in wartime. So far, 70% of the area has been cleared. However, about 268 mines were skillfully removed from the area. Officials believe that more are hidden deep within the forest. Villagers still unknowingly step on the concealed mine at least once a month. Uncle Ha Si San, one of the local villagers here, said that he stepped on a landmine over 20 years ago.
I
stepped on a landmine back in the year 1989 when I was going into the forest to pick bamboo shoots. Everything was black, and I woke up a day later, brought out of the forest by my brother and son-in-law. 1 year later, I received my first prosthetic leg. With that, I was able to work for a while. But I was getting old, so I could not work as much as before. But I am able to walk and get around, and even find some mushrooms to cook for a meal. I'm thankful that there is a foundation like this, providing me with free prosthetic legs and fixing them and providing me with new ones.
Uncle Ha and hundreds of others who needed prosthetic legs wouldn't have them today without the support of the Prosthesis Foundation of Her Royal Highness the Princess Mother, and volunteers like Mr. Rat Suthinang, who is devoting his time to skillfully designing and sculpting each prosthetic leg.
First we measure the leg, then we create a mold using fine sand imported from Malaysia. Once the process is done and dry, the equipment is then attached to the metal joints, made from rubber to complete the leg. Once on, the patients try walking with it until they get used to it. Then I let them go home. For me, being able to make prosthetic legs for the patients is a joy to my heart, knowing that when they wear what I built for them, it's comfortable, the equipment helps them to go back home and live a normal life, even back to work. They often bless me. I feel really wonderful about that.
The foundation receives support from the government and private sectors, but even so, the number of new patients and returning patients who need new prosthetic legs mean there are not enough of the material required to make the artificial limbs. The foundation is therefore open to donations of materials like women's stocking, aluminum lids, and donation of cash. Those who are interested can make a donation to the Peace Road Organization or Nam Yu District Administrative Organization. This completes the process of making artificial legs for the bomb victims and the others who lost their legs. Their life will never be the same. However, through the prosthetic legs, they can continue to live their life. I am Tharin Angskun for NBT World in Ubon Ratchathani.
And that's it for today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. We'll take a quick break now, but before that, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 12 core values: putting the public and national interests before one's own.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough. We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Swadee krab, this is Thailand at large.
The show which is about to take you to the new experiences with the exciting stories.
With charming fascination. With a touch of Thainess.
Join us on NBT World.
Explore with us and you'll know and love Thailand even more than before.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. It's time now for ASEAN and beyond. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has met with Philippine President Benigno Aquino during his visit to the Philippines to strengthen bilateral relations. General Prayut assured Mr. Aquino of Thailand's political and economic stability. He also extended his invitation to the private sector of the Philippines to expand their investments in Thailand, especially in her special economic zones. General Prayut also called for increased cooperation on labor protection laws between the two countries and further expansion of diplomacy via their embassies. General Prayut also met with Thai entrepreneurs in the Philippines to inquire about their business performance and problems during his official trip to the Philippines. The entrepreneurs told General Prayut that investment in the country had a tendency to expand well. They have sold products to local consumers and distributed products to neighboring countries. Foreign investors were highly interested in investing in the Philippines' fishery sector since the country still lacked modern technology for operation, said the entrepreneurs. The Prime Minister asked the entrepreneurs about the country's economy following volatile currency valuation and the U.S. economic slowdown. He also suggested that they should give back to the Philippines people. On to the global front, thousands of protesters gathered in Kuala Lumpur on Saturday for a two-day rally to demand the resignation of Prime Minister Najib Razak, bringing to the streets a political crisis over a multi-million-dollar payment made to an account under his name. The Malaysian leader has weathered weeks of attacks since it was reported that investigators probing the management of debt-laden state fund One Malaysia Development Berhad, or 1MDB, had discovered the unexplained transfer of more than $600 million. Protesters hope to spark a people's power movement, forcing Najib out, but political analysts doubt he'll be toppled. Security was tight as the rally got underway, and access to a square where the protesters planned to converge was blocked. A Reuters reporter said at least 6 police trucks were parked along the empty road to the square. Kuala Lumpur City Authority rejected the organizers' request for a permit for a protest. However, police said as long as protesters do not cross the barricades, no action would be taken. One protester, Ben Chung, called for a clean nation. Another, To Har Nian, said he was joining the protest as he was concerned with the present situation in the country. A baby bonobo at the San Diego Zoo in California has quickly adapted to her new environment. The 20-month-old infant was climbing ropes and trees and rolling in the grass in her habitat on Friday. This particular bonobo, named Belle, is the youngest member of the bonobo troupe at the zoo. She and her family were relocated to San Diego just last month from the Cincinnati Zoo. According to zoo officials, Belle, her mother, and her older sister and brother have easily integrated into the zoo troupe. Bonobos are a critically endangered species of great apes and are only native to the Democratic Republic of Congo. They share 98.4% of the same DNA as humans. And that's the end of today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. And you can also follow us on Facebook or visit our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. And for now, we're going to say goodbye with some footage of an adorable newborn hippo taking baby steps at Chiang Mai Night Safari. I'm Surapan Lautharanarit. Thank you for your company and have a wonderful day. สวัสดีครับ